In today's video, I will talk about a very good strategy that is an MFI strategy. What is MFI? MFI is the money flow index. The money flow index indicator is an oscillator. It is much like RSI, but it is, in my opinion, more advanced. And it's not just using the price, but it is using price plus volume data, and I really like this indicator, and now I share one of my favorite strategies with this indicator with you. First, I will tell you the sell entry and exit rules, and then I will tell you the buy entry and exit rules. And on the last part of the video, I will show you the real 99.9% tick data backtest with variable spread, commission and slippage that I have done on this strategy. Let's start. First of all, we will need an MFI indicator, money flow index in the it is its official name. So the default period will be 14 on most platforms, but for this strategy the algorithm gave me the number that is 100. That is a way better number to use this indicator than the 14 period, and this is a really big trick, because take a look at this chart. It is really smooth, it is readable, and it is tradable. And take a look at the 14 period chart. Yeah, it is a mess, because you have every kind of value in just a few candles. You have every kind of value. So how can you see the real? How can you see the truth behind this mess and noise? And so we are using the 100 period MFI, and the strategy is the following. First of all, I will show you an example sell trade that was done by this strategy. It was given by the backtest that I did with the 99.9% backtest data with the on basically real markets, because I used spread, slippage and commission, and not some bullshit backtest that traders do mostly. And this is just an average trade that it did, but I really like it for a couple of reasons, and this is why I show it as an example here, because I can show every aspect and how you can trade this strategy successfully. Now, the entry strategy is the following. When the MFI value, the 100 period MFI value, crosses above 50, then we will take a sell trade. And let's see it here, because I want to show it to you so you can actually see it. Here it is almost 50, but here it hits above 50, it crosses above 50, so we can take the trade here, and so somewhere here basically. And we took the trade. This is our only condition to open a sell trade, so it is a really simple strategy. Of course, you can add moving averages to the strategy, you can add CCI, ADX, and maybe RSI as well, but it is not necessary. But of course, if you want to have even higher probability trades, it is good if you add more indicators to it, and I will actually publish videos where I add more to it. And the trade started in really good place, and of course there was a huge downfall, then a reversal, but the algorithm, so the test algorithm, didn't close the trade, because there are some features that show that it will be a better trade if we hold on to it for a little bit more. And it was the truth, because here we closed the trade and it is a huge trade. in terms of pips and risk to reward ratio as well. So this trade has more than 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. That is very good. Here we close the trade, and I tell you exactly what are the exit strategy, the exit conditions when the 100 period MFI crosses below 40. Then we can close the trade if the other conditions are met too. And let's see it here. So it is pretty obvious that somewhere here it crossed below 40. Yeah, it crossed below 40, and we could close this trade. So it is not here, but somewhere, I guess it was here. Yeah, so yeah, somewhere there we could close the trade. And the other two conditions are very, very important as well. And the other two conditions are that you have to wait 1500 minutes after the entry of the trade to even start to look for the exit strategy. It is really, really important to follow this rule, because I tested it immensely on more than 1000 strategies, and it is truly a way to add more probability of profitability to a strategy. And after that number of minutes, you can only after that you can start to look for the crossover that happened here. Before that, if the crossover happens, let's say, I don't know, here, if that amounts of minutes hasn't passed yet, you can close the trade. And of course you should and you must add actually a safety stop loss to the strategy. That is just crucial to every strategy if a crisis crash happens, and this is a world where it can happen, and you don't want to blow your account in a crisis, because that won't be a good situation, of course. Now, I have to tell you that this strategy is, in my opinion, the key in this strategy was to find the good number of the period of the MFI, the money flow index indicator. And if you know the equation of this indicator, you know why it is a good number. If you are interested in indicator videos too, where I talk about indicators, the equations of them and the use, just leave me in the comments just these suggestions for the indicators. And now I show you the buy entry and buy exit rules. Here we are at the buy trade, and as I said before, now I am showing you the buy entry and exit strategy conditions. It will be very easy, so if you're a beginner, you can trade it as well. It is not a strategy where you have to follow like 10 moving averages at once and 1 RSI and 2 ADX indicators plus 2 CCIs. It is just a one indicator strategy that was just carefully, where the period of the MFI was just carefully chosen, and therefore the strategy can work, and this is the beauty of it. So now let's see the numbers, because in my opinion this was a great example of a trade too with this strategy. And let's see the examples. So first, we will need a crossover. The crossover is when the MFI indicator, the 100 period one, this time as well, crosses below 34. And if you take a look at it here, right here somewhere, it crosses below. It crosses below, here. It crosses below 34, and therefore we can take this trade. I hope you see how much easier it is when you optimize the period numbers of an indicator. How much easier to read this, because if I would just put like 3 in here, you know, it would be like a mess. It doesn't even mean anything. But if you have a great number that can be used, that is just helpful, and you will be much more balanced if your strategy is balanced and not a mess. Now let's see the exit strategy of the buy trades. As you see, it went very well, in my opinion, at least. And I chose this because if you take a look at it, it is how traders think. They take this trade and then the market starts to act after that. And it goes from here. It goes to the upside and you are, yeah, this strategy is working, I am killing it. And you have the gambler mindset, because as it starts to go to the downside, you are freaking out. You close the trade, and you can't close the trade because we have the, you know, first we have safety stop loss. So if you want to close the trade, we are using safety stop loss. So the safety stop loss will close the trade if it's needed. But second, you can't close the trade even in profit because we have the 1500 minute parameter and it hasn't passed yet. So you can't close the trade here with some few, I don't know, 10 pips of profit, because it is not how it works. Then you are a gambler. But traders think this way. Oh man, when it is here, when the price is here and you bought here, you are freaking out. Oh, what is strategy? What is, you know? But then you have to wait. And oh, what happened? What happened? Most traders here, they close the trade. They can't wait. They can't wait because it is just too much for them, this psychology. But you have to wait. You have to wait because the strategy has rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then you are a gambler. And there we could close the trade. Really important stuff. The following part will be how you can close the buy trades, and it is a crossover as well. You need an MFI and here the 100 period as well, and it has to cross above 43, and I will show it to you. It crosses above 43 here, yeah. And so basically it is somewhere 43, I don't know, somewhere here, yeah. Of course, a few, you know, if you just a manual trader, because this was taken by an algorithm, so it perfectly closed it at that moment. But a few value, I would say a 3 or 4 to the negative or positive difference won't affect the strategy too much that it would be bad. But if you can close the trade at the exactly right moment, close at that moment. But if you go and I don't know, just drink a sip of coffee and you come back and oh, I missed the opportunity, you can still close it, of course. So don't be a robot, just be a robot in an emotional way when you're a trader, because that will help you a lot and save your life potentially. Here you should establish a safety stop loss as well, as I said, and carry one trade per currency at once. That is truly important. These were the examples of this strategy, and now I will show you the real backtest results. Now I am showing you the statistics of this strategy for 1 year with tick data, variable spread, and all the stuff I talked about. Of course, I run the test. It isn't, yeah. So I ran the test, and there were really good trades. There were several 100 pip trades even. Now I show the tick data, statistics, and results. So let's see. Here, if you take a look at it, I will show you what I look for in a strategy. You don't have to look for the same thing, of course, but please don't look for win rates, because that in a from a mathematical perspective, from a probability theory perspective, doesn't really matter if you exclude the other data or the other data. So what I look for is the average profit trade and the average loss trade and the ratio of them, and it combined with the largest profit trade and largest loss trade. And I have an equation, and I combine those data alongside with the win rate, of course. And if the win rate is above 40 or 50%, then I know that the strategy is really working and it has an edge over the market compared to the strategies with 99% win rate and the worst risk to reward ratios, because they are good for the backtest, but they are failing miserably when it comes to the forward test and the live accounts, and they fail after a few weeks or maybe a month or two, but they fail no matter what. The consecutive wins and losses are also very interesting to me. The drawdown too. I don't like really high drawdown. It is somewhere the maximal drawdown that I tolerate. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe, because it's a new channel and I need subscribers. Ciao.